going to ask you some questions. You're going to write down a number, and I'm going to take the average of each pair's number as your answer, OK? Here's your first question, everybody. Write me down a number for this. How many cities in the world have more than 1 million inhabitants?
OK.
Well, that's a good question, Richard.
It is a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to think of an answer as well. OK, everyone's in. What do you think at home on this one? How many cities in the world have 1 million or more inhabitants? Vicky?
I'm thinking 1,600. That's based on the amount of countries times the amount of big cities per country.
Oh, my goodness, that's a theory.
And then I added some more for good measure.
There you go, the old...
That was my thinking.
That is such a traditional, distinctly average bit of working out.
Yeah.
Which is exactly this by this. Then I've added some more.
Then I added some more.
1,600,
Yeah.
I think. Sally, you going up or down?
I went down, and I still think it's too high. Given that Iceland's only got 600,000 people, a lot of the countries wouldn't have 1 million people. So I think I've made an error, and especially since they're averaging us, I'm wishing I'd put 80.
Yeah, I hear you.
I've done 900.
So your average is 1,250. 1,250 is your average. Yeah. Ricky, what are you saying?
I went for 200. Just because playing this game before, I feel like going too high is a mistake.
Yes.
So I thought I'd go quite low.
Don't forget, going too low is also a mistake.
It is a mistake, but hopefully it'd average out. Normally, your person goes really high that you're with.
That's clever.
Don't
That's
let us
clever.
down, Dan.
I wonder if Dan...
Hi there.
have you gone high, Dan?
I've gone sort of in the middle. I've gone for 317.
OK. Oh, beautifully presented as well. Thank you.
Oh, wow, look at the artistry on the boys.
Thanks very much.
That is... That's raised the stakes.
It's a very
couple
simple
of
brain, isn't it?
You did take a long time to write that, so...
I've been here for 20 minutes.
I did wonder why you were the last person to lock in your answer, Dan. Now I know. Let's take a look at your average, Ricky and Dan. It is 258 and a half. Let's find out, shall we, how many cities in the world have more than 1 million inhabitants and who scored the points? 512. Very well done, gents. Very nicely played.
Nice one, Ricky.
512. There's about 10,000 cities in total worldwide. 500 of them have 1 million or more inhabitants. Next question. According to the latest global sports salary survey, what is the average weekly wage of a first-team footballer in the English Premier League? And that's in pounds. If only we had the former host of Football Focus here. And essentially,
that's why I left. My maths are so bad, they forced me out.
So what's the average weekly wage of a first-team footballer in the Premier League? Ricky, what's your answer?
I've gone for 70,000 a week on average.
It's about 3.5 million a year, which, I mean, they get paid a lot.
Yeah, first-team player, I reckon about 70,000.
Dan?
I went for £76,000.
OK, very, very close. Even I can work out the average there. It's £73,000 a week. You're saying is the average wage of a Premier League footballer, 73,000. Vicky, they seem quite confident on that. Where are you?
So I have gone for 25,000
£5,000 a week. There you go. Sally, up or down from 25,000?
I went down.
10,000.
10,000
10,000 a week. And so your average, Sally and Vicky, is 17,500. So we've got 73,000, we've got 17,500. What do you think at home on this one? How much are they getting paid on average in the Premier League? What's the answer and who scored the point? £61,000 a week they're getting. £3 million a year. That's the average.
Oh, my
That's
word.
crazy,
That's
right?
the average. On average, how many mobile phone messages do Britons aged between 18 and 24 receive in a year? That includes social media alerts. Between 18 and 24. Will, what's your thinking?
Big.
So you've gone for...
I've gone for 350,000.
350,000 on average. OK. That feels like 1,000. Well, listen, maybe.
You know those 18-year-olds always on their phone?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Fern, up or down from 350,000?
Down, quite considerably. Now I feel like I've guessed it wrong. I've gone for 3,000.
3,000, says Fern, which is about 8 a day. So either 1,000 a day or 8 a day. So between you, your average might be sensational. So Will and Fern, your average is 176,000, so about 500 a day. Edith, what was your thinking here?
Well, just kind of thinking about 18 to 24-year-olds, either, I mean, not all of them, but there's a potential of being at work or uni. So in terms of how much they're sort of sending, and then just the idea of conversations that can go on and
go on and on and on.
So I kind of went with 25,000.
25,000.
About
68 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Martin, what are you thinking?
So I was trying to work out what was included exactly. So if you just take it as an individual one-on-one message, a lot of these are conversational messages on social media, which I presume wouldn't be counted because they're not an individual message.
This is why this guy is so successful.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely just forensic.
Which is why I factored in, I thought on a rough, you'd probably have conversations with 6 or 7 people. Some of those would be single, some of those would be multiple. So I went for 30 a day, and 30 times 365 is 10,950.
So 950. I mean, great.
Totally wrong, but there was logic in it.
So your average is 17,975. You've decimated their score. 176,000, 17,000. What do you think at home? What's the answer here? Let's find out. How many mobile phone messages do these Britons receive, and who has scored the points? 87,000 is the answer. So Edith and Martin, 239 a day.
Yeah, wow.
239 a day. The national average is 90 a day for all age groups, but yeah, 87,000.
Wow.
Very well done. Let's take a look at your next question. In feet, how tall is the Las Vegas High Roller, which was the world's largest Ferris wheel when it opened in 2014?
In feet.
Yeah, it's interesting doing it in feet. I quite like that. It's quite old school, isn't it?
That's how I'm doing it, because I have to imagine men laid end to end.
That's exactly what I was doing. So my husband's 6'2".
So how many of him?
Yeah, many of him.
With the world's biggest Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
I'm basing this on a previous statistic here on how tall is the Statue of Liberty.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
that's clever. Edith, so you were thinking about your 6'2" husband and how many of him would make the world's largest Ferris wheel, and where did that lead you?
I mean, it's a total just random guess.
Yeah.
I did put 250 to start with, but I thought that's very close to the last answer that I put. What's with the 25? So I just put 300 and also started drawing a Ferris wheel just to...
Nice.
Oh, that's
nice.
Just to help us out.
Yeah.
That people at home going, oh, a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like a hamster wheel.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
That's a ferret's wheel.
I got stopped doing it halfway through, so it's really bad. But
So 300
total guess,
feet.
300 feet.
Martin, up or down from 300 feet?
Up. I first thought it was about 150 metres. I was trying to think the London Eye, which I think is around 100 metres. That would be my guess. And so it's Las Vegas, so it'd be bigger. And then I upped that a bit to 200 metres, which is 600 feet. But I thought if you guess 600 feet and it's right, everyone thinks you've rounded. So I thought I'd guess 578 feet, because if that's right, then I look really, really good.
If it's dead right, I'll give you 2 points. So 578, you reckon. So that's probably about 90 Edith's husbands.
Yeah.
Something like that. So your average, Edith and Martin, is 439 feet. Will, you were thinking about the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Where did that lead
I
you?
think I've realised I missed a 0 off the end of my
Oh, this is... What a round you're having, Will. How are you so brilliant at your job, by the way?
Sorry, Fern's really upset with me today.
Sorry, I
I'm really
didn't know I was making a face at either.
That's fine, that's fine.
I didn't realise my contempt was showing. I'm so sorry.
And I might have confused my meters with feet as well.
So you have said...
So I'm saying 60.
60 feet. Right, listen.
60 feet.
Yeah, like 10 tall men. Yeah. OK, 60 feet.
Pretty big, right?
Oh, Fern, I'm so sorry.
Ferris wheel.
But
Really
listen,
upset.
Fern,
It's not too, actually, it's not too bad.
OK.
So I didn't follow Martin Lewis's sort of Carol Vorderman type reasoning. I just imagined 30 men standing on each other's shoulders. So I picked...
Lovely, 180 feet. Sounds about right. So your average, I think I'll work out, is 120 feet. So we've got 439 feet, we've got 120 feet. What do you think at home on this one? Let's take a look, shall we? How tall is the High Roller? 550 feet.
Oh, Martin, you were so close.
Wow, Martin, so close. And if you had just rounded it down...
No, a little bit more.
Yeah, you would have got yourself 2 points. It's about 100 feet taller than the London Eye. That's big. That's too big for a Ferris wheel,
Yeah.
isn't it? Based on their relative volumes, how many times could the Earth fit in the sun? How many times? This is one of those questions where I think I'm so glad I'm not playing. She's like, I mean, how many times could the Earth fit in the sun, do we think? I mean, it's sort of, with all space things, it could sort of be anything, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie's still right.
Yeah, I got it.
OK, everyone is in. So, Maureen, where have you gone on this?
Oh, I've got 5.
Why not, right? You like that, Jamie?
I think I've got a lot more than that.
All right, OK.
Say.
Claire, have you gone more than 5?
I have. I've gone 1,000.
Oh, no!
No,
1,000,
but our
but
average
again-
might be fine.
Yeah,
Don't
oh
my
worry.
God.
I went high,
To average me out.
yeah. But we still won't be the same as the super being over there, so don't worry.
OK.
We're going to lose this, Marie. Doesn't matter.
So your average, Maureen and Claire, is 502.5. Mike, what was your thinking here?
I went pretty big. I went for 2,500.
2,500. It feels the sun is big, right?
It's a big unit.
Oh, this is...
But, you know, and the Earth is big.
Yeah.
You're right, Jamie.
I don't think I can turn around.
OK.
I am so embarrassed.
All right.
Just try and guess what you think I've gone for.
Is
You've
it
gone
so
for
big
a
that
million.
You think I've gone for a million?
Yeah.
Is it
You're
so-
way off.
Oh, no.
900 billion.
Oh, wow. That's
Wow,
big, all
that
right.
is big.
I was going to go for a trillion, and then I thought that was a bit too much.
Take the edge off.
900 billion. So we got 502 for Claire and Maureen. What have we got from Jamie and Mike? Roughly 450 billion.
That's a big differential. Have you ever had such a...
We, Claire, have never had anything, I think, even approaching that different. I mean, listen, we've had difference of millions before, and that's like, whoa. This is the first time, Jamie, thank you, that we've been in the 400 billions.
Okay.
First time ever. So, listen, at home, where are you closer to? 502 or 450 billion? And let's find out, shall we? How many times could the Earth fit into the sun, and which team has scored a point? 1,300,000
Wow.
is the answer. So Claire and Maureen get themselves a point. I mean,
Even though we were nowhere near.
no one anywhere near.
No.
Final question in this round. OK, how's this going to play out? In US dollars, what was the budget for the 2001 film, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring? Give you a clue, it was not 900 billion. And it wasn't 5. What do you think at home on this one? Budget for that film. Jamie, what have you gone for on this one?
So it was very high grossing. I think the budget was pretty big. So I put 214 million, and then I put big budget.
Oh, interesting.
And,
just let us know. Yeah.
Just let us know there's a big budget.
But 240 million, you've written pounds, but we got this dollars, so that's absolutely fine. Mike, you going up or down from 240?
Well, I went down for 2 reasons. One, because I was thinking it's 20 years ago.
Oh, yes.
And also because of my teammates. So I went for a still big number of 85 million.
85 million, says Mike. So your average is $149 million, just under $150 million. Claire, what have you said?
Well, again, now that I know my teammate, I knew that she's probably going to be quite conservative in her estimate. So I went a little higher than I actually think, and not far off Jamie, but a bit higher than him. 250 million.
And Maureen, you gone low?
I've gone for 50 million.
50 million. Every time you love a low answer.
I tell you what, we're going to come out almost identical on average.
Oh, yeah, let's take a look at the average, shall we? Well.
Wow.
Whoa.
So all we need
We had
higher than
500,000
150 million.
Yes.
between us. So, what do you think at home on this one? What was that budget, and which team has scored the last point of the round?
Oh!
93 million.
It was shot in New Zealand,
93
wasn't it?
million.
And I wonder if the New Zealanders clearly didn't charge
And also
enough.
maybe they made them all at the same
They might
time
have
and
done.
amortised the costs across them.
Yeah. You bulk buy your orcs. don't you?
Yeah, orc bulk buy it,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
How many tickets were sold in total for events at the 2012 London Olympic and Paralympic Games? Whoa.
Did you go?
Yeah.
So you're one.
So that's one. There you go. I took my kids, so that's 3. But listen, I can't give any more spoilers.
I know it was busy. I lived in Greenwich
Oh, really?
when it was happening. And I lived on the street that led from the train station to the Olympic Park, and I couldn't leave my house. It was
But
busy.
you at least counted them.
Oh, wait, that's all I did. That was my hobby at the time.
You have one of those clickers.
Yeah. Yeah,
So we should be in with a shout for this one.
I reckon so.
OK.
Yeah.
OK, everyone is locked in. What do you think at home on this one? This is a tough first one, isn't it? Andy, what are you thinking?
Well, I was trying to think how many stadiums there were. I've ended up at about 2.3 million.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that doesn't sound...
2.3 million.
Sabrina, up or down from 2.3 million?
Down, because I had a feeling you'd go big.
Oh,
OK.
So 75,000 and 3, you and your family.
Oh, that's interesting. So you've gone slightly under the capacity of the main stadium.
Yeah, because...
for one event.
I watched everything at home. I couldn't even get a ticket.
I'm never certain in this round, Sabrina. I think you might have gone a bit low. Let's take a look at Sabrina and Andy's average. 1,187,501.5 is your average. You never know.
Never know.
Kirsty, what was your thinking?
I've gone for 2 million, but having seen Andy, I wish I'd gone for 3, because I think... I mean, there were so many different events. Opening, closing ceremonies for both.
Yeah. Matt, what's your thinking?
So it was on all the time. There were loads of events, and London is a big city, and I seem to remember that the population doubled or tripled or whatever it was. So I think this is under what it is, but I've gone for 5 million.
5 million. So your average is 3,500,000. So we've got 1.2 million roughly, and we've got 3.5 million. What do you think at home? Where have you gone on this? Let's find out, shall we? How many tickets were sold and which team scored the points?
Yeah.
10,990,000.
What do we know?
Wow. Sabrina just over 10,900,000 out. Well played, Kirsty and Matt there. Should we do another one?
Yes.
OK. I wonder if you could write an answer to this, please. How many sandwiches will the average Brit eat in their lifetime?
In their lifetime.
That's interesting.
Do you like sandwiches, Andy?
I'm trying to do maths in my head, which is a skill I've not... There are some neural pathways that have not been opened for a long time.
For like a long time. They're not really testing your mental arithmetic on Radio 1.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
This might be easy if I knew the filling.
Really?
Yeah.
Make it easier?
You know, how many egg mayo sandwiches?
Any filling.
Wow.
Any sandwich.
OK.
Everybody is in. What do you think at home on this one? This could be revealing of something. Kirsty, what was your maths on this one?
My maths was, let's take the average lifespan of 70 and leave out the kind of 1 to 3-year-olds because they don't really eat sandwiches.
They don't eat sandwiches, do they?
52 weeks in the year. Say you have 3 sandwiches a week.
Yep. So 150 times 7.
So I was reckoning it would be about...
10,000, says Kirsty. Matt, up or down from 10,000?
Well, I hope you got some sharp math brains backstage to work out the average, because I also went for 10,000.
No.
That's spooky.
It is, isn't it? It's
we were meant to be.
Your average is 10,000. Andy, what are we thinking about 10,000?
Well, there's a national obesity crisis.
Yes.
So I think the average is higher. I think the average is like 2 a day.
OK.
And I took a slightly more optimistic view. I took the average life as 80 years.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Rather than 70. So I went for 65,000.
65,000? That has gone up. Sabrina, up or down from 65,000?
Do you know what I've done?
Uh-oh.
I just realised I've misunderstood the question.
OK.
We're talking about one person, aren't they? I was thinking of, like,
the world.
Oh, my goodness.
I was thinking... Can I just give me a minute?
I'm afraid we're going to have to go with you.
No, you don't want to see this. Andy will never pair up with me again.
Well, I think that bird has already flown, so...
I can't even speak. I'm just
Let's take a look. 18.6 million. I understand what you were going for.
I was thinking the population.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Andy.
That's all right. No.
630 sandwiches a day for 80 years.
Yeah.
But I know what
That's how you're so tall.
I know what you meant, though. So your average is 9,322,500.
Great, I love it. I love it.
Shall we take a look at how many sandwiches the average Brit eats in their lifetime? I won't say who's won the point, because I think we know. 18,300, pretty good. Not too far away, was it? A point to you as well. It's about 229 a year, which is what, about 4.5 a week. In the 2010s, how many different singles reached #1 in the UK's official chart? So how many number one singles were there in the UK in that decade?
10 years.
So January 2010 to December 2019, for avoidance of doubt. Huh. What do you think at home on this one? How many number one singles were there in the 2010s? Carrie-Ad, we'll start with you. What were you thinking and what answer did you come up with?
I did 562.
500. So
that's like
it's
one
only
a week.
520. It's more than one a week.
I know, that's why I got confused. I'm sorry, Dennis.
It's quite... I didn't want to score anyway.
Dennis, I hate to ask, have you gone up or down?
I've gone down.
Yeah, you've gone down, okay.
Slightly. 220.
220, so everyone's number one for, 2.5 weeks.
Probably less than that, but...
average, we might...
The average is
might help.
helping you out a little bit. Dennis and Carrie-Ad, your average is 391. Yasmin, what was your thinking?
I had no thinking. I just wrote down a number.
Oh, great. Is it higher than 520?
No.
OK.
But I also don't think it's right.
150. Jeff?
I sort of went same maths. 10 times 52 is 520.
And then you did.
And then I thought some songs stay number one for a while, but they're streaming now.
Oh, it's streaming.
Beyonce and Ed Sheeran, he said, trying to seem cool to the kids. They're probably the new Bryan Adams.
Absolutely floundering out there on the C4, isn't he? So you're saying 320, which means your average is 235. What do you think at home on this one? 391 plays 235. How many different number ones were there and who has won the points? Look at that for an average, 245.
Quite clever.
Yeah.
Somewhere between us about here, we're very smart.
Yeah.
That is a very good average and a very good score there from Dennis. Let's take a look at your next question. How many yellow taxis are in operation in New York City? According to the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission.
Based on the movies, a lot.
Yeah.
A load.
Yeah, like loads.
You can never get them, especially if you're a sort of a kooky girl in a rom-com. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, but then you bump into the man of your dreams, so it's OK.
The difference between my first guess on this and what I've put is absolutely massive.
Oh, really?
That worries me.
OK, well, we'll start with you, Jeff. OK, everybody locked in. Jeff, you just said that your first guess and what you've actually written down were very different.
Yeah, first guess was 1 million.
OK.
But then I've gone down to 1,900.
Well, I mean, so you changed your mind from 1 million to 1,900. OK. Yasmin, you've gone up or down from 1,900?
I've gone up a bit, a good bit. I've done 200,000.
200,000.
Yeah.
OK. Let's take a look at your average. Your average is 100,950. You had a very good average last time. Let's see if you've done the same this time. Carrie-Ad, what are you saying? And show everyone your picture.
I did a picture of New York.
Oh,
lovely. And the Empire State Building.
And the Empire State Building, because number's not my thing. And I just said 6,000.
6,000 says Carrie-Ad. Dennis, up or down from 6,000?
I've changed it. I had 2,000 and I've gone down to 1,500 for some reason.
OK.
Don't know why.
2,000 to 1,500. I mean, better than Jeff, who went from 1 million to 1,900. So, Carrie-Ad, Dennis, your average is 3,000. So a big disagreement here.
Wow.
Let's take a look, shall we? It's one way to find out, isn't it? Let's look at the answer. So, how many yellow taxis are there and which team has won the point? 13,500, Carrie-Ad and Dennis. Well done. How many different prime ministers of the UK have there been?
Whoa.
At time of recording.
So the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom, yeah, from Robert Walpole onwards.
Do we get points for guessing with confidence?
Do you know what, Tanya? No one's ever asked that question before, so it hasn't come up.
OK.
But as the week progresses, let's you and I chat about what I'm giving points out for. And listen, you never know.
OK.
So everyone is locked in. What do you reckon at home on this one? Mark, what are you thinking and what answer have you got for?
I think there have been 7 in my lifetime.
OK.
I then tried to do some maths and then added a few on, and I've gone for 75.
75. Tanya, uh-oh. You're going up or down from 75?
With confidence, Tanya. There were points for confidence.
There was confidence, then you ruined it.
Oh.
I went for...
Oh, no.
So I went with 27.
51 is your average. Phil, what were you thinking?
I put 35.
35, says Phil, so not a million miles from...
more than that.
Tanya, Kate, respected journalist in many areas, including politics. Did you use any of that knowledge, or did you just stab in the dark?
I'm going to say I went 50, but I think Mark is nearer the mark.
Right.
We'll find out. So your average is 42 and a half.
Yeah.
I wonder who the half was. 42 and a half is pretty close, isn't it? What do you think at home? What have you gone for? OK, so how many different Prime Ministers have there been, and which team has scored the point? 55.
Well, I wasn't bad.
Really close.
You were very close.
So, Tanya and Mark get the point there. Well played. With 51. Very, very close. Final question in this round. Write me down an answer for this, please. How many balloons appear in the lift-off scene in the Pixar film Up?
I love that film.
That's a good question, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, I love that film.
He buys a specific number of balloons.
You looked at me like you know this.
I feel like I really should have watched it enough times.
Like you've been counting them individually?
I didn't, but he does buy a specific number of balloons.
Oh, does he?
Does he?
That's interesting. Oh.
OK.
Everyone in? What do we think? So we know the scene and we know the balloons lifting the house, but how many are there? Kay, what were you thinking here?
Well, there you go. There's my answer. 47.
I'm trying to picture the...
I'm just thinking, yeah, Tanya's right. You need a lot of balloons to lift the house, but just in the visual...
Yeah, in an
I'm thinking
animation,
how
you
many...
probably don't need as many.
That's what I've gone for.
Lovely. Phil, up or down from 47?
I've gone up. 100.
100.
A bit rounded.
Phil.
Maybe too many, I don't know.
It's a lot of balloons.
We had an extension as well. It's quite a big house.
You've got to lift that conservatory as well. Let's take a look at your average. It is 73 and a half balloons.
Oh, OK.
Right. I mean, a half a balloon.
I mean...
Yeah. Tanya, you love the film. Where are you on this?
Oh, I went up. I went high in the sky.
That's very apt.
500.
Wow.
500.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the front and the back. And it's an upstairs, downstairs, 2 beds.
Mark, up or down from 500?
Well, I've gone down. 99 is always linked to balloons, isn't it?
Luftballon.
Luftballon.
Luftballon. So your average...
Wow.
Mark and Tanya, it's 299 and a half. So we've got 73, we've got 299. What do you think at home on this one? Fans of Up. So how many balloons appear in that lift-off scene?
Wow! Told you it was loads.
20,000.
20,000?
What is it, a castle?
It's a... No.
Is it an estate?
So listen, you are 20,300 out, but you get a point. Very well done to Mark and Tanya winning the last point there. How many games did Wayne Rooney play for Manchester United? Where would you go with that? How many games did Wayne Rooney play for Manchester United? OK, everyone is in. What do you reckon at home on this one? Jamali, what was your thinking and what's your answer?
See, what I wrote 2,000. See, I know it's more than 2,000, but I was hoping Jodie went really, really high and then we would average it out. Do you know what I'm saying, though?
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
So I think it's more than 2,000, but I thought it would average out, so I went 2,000.
So you've gone 2,000. Jodie, you gone up or down from 2,000?
I've gone slightly lower.
OK.
650.
650, OK. Your average, Jodie and Jamali, is 1,325. Susie, what was your thinking here?
Well, I feel like I've gone a little too on the conservative side with 180.
180.
I wasn't sure. I was thinking like 6 years, maybe 7.
Hugh, up or down from 180?
I've gone for 511, just 10 years, 50 games a year, but neither of those things is probably close to being right.
So your average, Susie and Hugh, is 345 and a half.
That was the one when he was sent off.
Yeah, exactly. What have you got at home? Where are you closest to? We got 1,300 or we got 345. How many games did Wayne Rooney play for Man United and who has got the point? 559. That's Susie and Hugh get the point.
Close.
Jodie and Hugh both very close to that one, but well played, Susie and Hugh. 13 years he was there for, Wayne Rooney.
Money.
Yeah, no.
Just so close to that 2000.
Yeah.
You know, it was like...
Just a couple of
within
games
touching.
off.
Yeah, it was touching just the 2000.
Next question. According to NASA, what is the distance in miles between the Sun and the planet Mercury? Wow. I like that we're trusting NASA. They would have measured it, NASA. And it's an average distance because it changes with the orbits.
Mercury's not the closest. Mars is closer than Mercury, I think.
No. It's
I don't know
pretty
why
close.
I think that.
In space times distance.
Yeah, in space terms, not in terms of if you were having a weekend away.
No.
It's a long way, but...
How far is, like, London to Glasgow?
is that your starting point?
Yeah.
About 650 miles.
OK, because I was going to say 1,000 miles, and that's not...
No.
Because it's not London to Glasgow, is it? It'll still take you a couple of days.
A little bit.
Yeah, no.
Just a tad.
Just a bit. All right.
OK, everybody is locked in. What do you think at home on this one? It's a tricky one, isn't it? Susie, what was your thinking and what's your...
My thinking is nothing. I have absolutely zero idea, and I've just picked 20 million.
Hugh, up or down from 20 million?
I thought that millions were the thing, and I went for lucky 7.
So you got 7 million. So 20 million and 7 million. So your average is 13.5 million miles. Jamali, what are you thinking?
I did 100,000.
OK.
But I don't think that's right.
You know?
It's more than London to Glasgow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's almost, I'd say, more than twice.
Yeah.
More than twice. Jodie, up or down?
Up. I've gone 350,000.
OK, so we're in the 100,000s and we're in the millions.
Yeah.
Here, so your average, Jodie and Jamali, is 225,000. What do you think at home? Let's find out, shall we? Is it 100,000s or is it millions? Who has won the point? 36 million it is. 36 million.
Well done, Susie.
Very well played, Susie and Hugh.